Welcome, everybody. It is the Mans and Flowers Show, episode 9 here. My name is Jeff Mans, of course, FantasyAlarm.com, along with Ray Flowers. Ray, how you doing today?
Hey, Jeff, I'm just living the dream, sitting here in my robe, got my hat on, writing baseball stuff, talking football with you. What could be better?
I'm in the new studios, the new Fantasy Alarm studios here in Chicago, and it's kind of plain and everything now, but in the coming days and weeks, these Mans and Flowers shows are going to get a lot more interesting. So thank you all for downloading. Thank you for tuning in to the show. So, Ray, let's get to it. Twitter was a buzz the last couple days. I got to ask you, I feel like I owe it to our viewers and listeners from Fantasy Alarm and our respective radio shows and, of course, the Mans and Flowers show. Why do you hate everybody, Ray? I'm getting everyone's telling me that Ray Flowers hates everybody, you don't like anybody, you're always angry. And I have noticed you're angrier more often. Not obviously in your personal life, you're pretty happy-go-lucky, to be quite honest with everybody. But why are you so angry, Ray?
Yeah, isn't it funny? Like, we hang out when we're together and all we do is laugh the whole time. Like, I don't have a serious face for 6 seconds.
If either one of us is the angry one, it's me.
Yeah, oh yeah. Absolutely.
But then the mics go hot, and all of a sudden you're yelling, screaming, chiding people. What's behind this? Is this just a persona? What are you doing?
You got to pay the bills, Jeff. No, I think I was actually talking to my brother about this last week, and the honest truth is, this is my 15th year doing this full time, and that's a long time. There are probably maybe 10, 15, 20 people that have literally been doing this full time for 15 years. Everyone's kind of done it part time. And I think it's just an accumulation of 15 years of stupidity.
Same questions.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like we were doing our chat at Fantasy Alarm today. 2 o'clock Eastern every Friday we do a live chat.
Yep.
And it's like the AP. His nickname's all day. It's Adrian Peterson.
What?
It's not AP. It's AD. Okay.
But his initials are AP. Come on.
It doesn't matter. Does anyone say JC for Jay Cutler? I mean, come on.
No, but AP, AD, come on, right?
But I'm just saying, stuff like that.
That's on you.
I have literally said it's AD all day. I've probably said that 400 times the last 5 years. And it doesn't ever, and so stuff like that, it just gets on me. And when I get calls from people, like we had a couple of weeks ago, we had a guy on Sirius XM that called our show and said, do I start Des Bryant or Martavis Bryant? It's like, so sometimes, when the teacher said when you were a kid, Jeff, that there's no stupid questions, that was wrong then, and it's still wrong now.
Oh, right. So you're just like a beleaguered old man, is what you're saying. You're just the get off my lawn guy now, because you've seen it 100 times.
I think Kyle actually said that Gran Turismo with Clint Eastwood. He's like, that's going to be you in like 30 years. I'm like, it might be.
You are.
Yeah.
If you were ever as cool as Clint Eastwood, that absolutely would be you, no question about it. Well, I think the thing is that people don't get that. We get the same questions over and over and over, and there are times that it gets to the point of ridiculousness. Like, we answer the same questions, and some of the things you don't see, which we'll talk about a little bit, especially in our NFL preview show. We discuss it a lot about the Broncos running back situations coming up here in Week 11 of the NFL season. We'll talk about that, but you get these questions, and you're just, the first 24 times it's fine, but after a while it really does wear on you. Well, Ray, you got to work on it. Be happy.
Well, but John, think about this. We were doing that live advice chat again every Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern at Fantasy Alarm. We were doing that today. Someone asked us an either-or question at the running back position. It was Vereen and Bell. I gave my position of Joyke Bell. He then asked you, because you want to get your advice too. You said Bell. Did you notice 3 follow-up questions from him about whether he should play Bell or not this week?
I did notice that.
I answered it. You answered it. Why? And at one point, the last time he asked the question, I said, you've asked the question and it was answered. That kind of stuff, it's like, you don't have to do what I say. You don't have to trust me. You don't have to trust Jeff. But if you're going to ask our advice, we're going to give our advice. Don't ask the question again.
Oh, man.
And that's the thing that bugs me the most, Jeff, is people want to argue with you, but they don't have any, they come to a gunfight with a knife. It doesn't work. If you want to debate it, fine. Don't argue with me about it.
It's a good point. We have our reasons for liking who we like, and we're not always right. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's no 100% guarantee on any advice, any recommendation, the rankings, the choices, the playbooks, anything that we do. But we have really, really good reasons. That's what we sit around and do when we're not on the air and filming these videos and whatnot. We're researching, we're writing about these things, and that's the side people don't see. But hopefully, we express it well and explain it well enough that you guys can understand. Moving along to another topic that gets my ire. Only thing that makes me more pissed off than Ray Flowers hating everybody is Derrick Rose, Chicago Bulls point guard. What he said the other day, Ray, about, it was one thing. The first part of the argument was, or his statement was, well, I got to think about my future and I can't go risk and think, okay, I'm fine. All right, that's cool. I understand that you have missed 171 games in 3 years, but okay. All right, think about the future. But when he went further and said, my future going to graduations and going to meetings, business meetings that are just going to be plentiful for a 45-year-old retired NBA veteran, that really pissed me off, right? Because that's the absolute epitome of egotism and a guy who simply doesn't know where his lot in life is and what butters his bread. The fact is, nobody cares about Derrick Rose. If he continues down this road of missing games, now my hamstring hurts, my ankle hurts, my hip hurts, my leg hurts, my knee is sore, I have a headache, I have a flu, my throat's scratching. If he continues down this road, he's going to be out of the league in 4 to 5 years. And when he's out of the league, there will be no business meetings. Nobody wants... Go ask Allen Iverson, also a one-time MVP. Go ask Allen Iverson, who missed a ton of games. We heard of Allen Iverson practice. Man, I don't practice. Practice? Where did that get him? Do fans still fully engage with Allen Iverson? Is there tons of endorsement deals for Allen Iverson anymore, Ray Flowers? I ask you this.
Yeah, no, there's not. And it's one thing to say that the athletes are out of touch, and you have to understand why that is. I mean, these guys were told they're the greatest of all time their entire lives. At 20 years old, they're multimillionaires. People kowtow to them. They get free food. They get into restaurants. They get the hotel. I mean, everyone bends over backwards to be nice to these people. But you're totally right. At some point, your brain has to kick in, I would think. I mean, even if you're not doing it yourself, someone in your life, in your sphere says to you, you're acting like a jackhole. You're acting like a moron. Let's protect your image. Let's create an image that's conducive to a career after you stop playing basketball.
I like that one.
You like that?
I like the jackal. That was good.
Thank you. Yeah, and I don't know everything about them. Yeah, you like that?
Jackal. I like it. That was good.
I don't know everything about the Rose situation. You're in Chicago, so you're obviously much more close to that. But it's one thing that you can push to aside all that stuff that's off the court if you're on the court and producing. But as you noted, he's not on the court and producing, and that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. When you're not on the court, you're not doing your job. It doesn't matter. What I want everybody to do, everybody out there listening, everybody out there, wherever you are, wherever you work at, me and Ray are going to do this to Matt Deutsch, our program director at SiriusXM, and we're going to tell them, every third day, our throat's just a little scratchy. Ray, right now my throat is just, it's not like, I can't get the pitch that I want. No, la 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 la. You hear it? There's a twang. I can't go on air with this because my voice is just, it's not 100%. And I have a future to think about. I'm going to be announcing, and when I'm in my 50s, I'm going to be singing the national anthem at the Comiskey Park in U.S. Cellular Field and Wrigley Field. So I don't want to risk my voice and my adenoids right now because I got a future to think about. Go into your job. Yeah, I did.
Adenoids? That's good.
I sure did. So then, go to the construction site and say, you know what, I can't haul this lumber today, boss, because I got a future to think about. I want to hold my grandkids one day, so I can't haul this lumber. I would be hurting my back too much. Or it's just not going to work. Derrick Rose, we all do work. We all do whatever it is we do to earn a living, and Derrick Rose earns a very nice living doing what he does. And for him to say he's got a future to think about that's not basketball, and he's not really worried about basketball right now, means this guy's completely lost it. And if anybody wants a good laugh, go visit Derrick Rose in about 10 years. That's going to be really funny. I can't wait. He's just going to be sitting there waiting for the phone to ring. And the phone ain't ever going to ring, everybody. He's just going to be sitting there like, it's going to ring. Oh, I'm sure McDonald's going to call. They want me in a commercial. No, okay. Going to sit and be alone like the loser that he is. Biggest vagina in all of professional sports. And that's it for the Mans and Flowers show. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll talk to you again next week for Ray Flowers. This has been Jeff Mans, Fantasy